Chandler dishes the wall. Wizards pass it around. The Wizards without a miss. The Knicks lead by 21. Green takes the answer. That's all the Bucks to New York. They'll retain possession.
Defensively, great anticipation. Making a play there on the ball.
Well, superb this way, right? Not allowing them to get comfortable running the offense, being super aggressive.
This is up to Porzingis. 5 on the clock. Green draws the number. New York needs to get off the shot. They get it done.
Momentum continues to go their way. Pretty much the start of the game.
And the clock lightning down. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It's on Tyson Chandler.
This guy is a beast on the board.
When he gets those second chance points, he does not waste one.
He's so very quick to convert off the miss, and usually with authority.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Oubre's checked in for out of origin. Jody Meeks comes in for Beal. And Zelinski is in for John Wall. There's Zelinski. Takes a rebound. It's his shot. The shot comes out. New York's not disappointing to us. It's not 3 points. It's 0 to 4. On the wing, Green. He's feeling it. Rebound, Washington. Chandler's got rebound number 7 for himself.
And one team is just completely outclassing people tonight. Spirited performance. And it really ignited what has turned out to be a monster win here for New York.
And this was one that never really was an all-around down performance. You kind of thought they maybe won the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that. They just pretty much right out of the more clinic was put on display here today.
And so take a look at the milestone. They'll be picking up tonight. The wins on the year now.
And then once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for money.
There isn't much else you want from someone who gave it his all. It was really worth it.
It's stolen by Green. 30 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Noah kicks to Green. Puts it up to 12. Cancels the pass to Green. That's good from Green. He's perfect from the line this time. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The dish to Oubre. Feeds it to Morris. Pass to Oubre. Elf with the steal. So no problem for New York as they get the win. A resounding victory for them. And ready to have to take the loss.
That's exactly right. With the way they control the game. That's how to get it done on the way.
Saying thanks for watching. See you next time.
Hey, DJ. Great game out there. Look, Shaq and the guys want to talk to you in the studio.
Really?
Yeah, right this way. Stand here.
Okay.
Perfect.
2K Sports post-game show.
Shaquille O'Neal to my right, Kenny the Jet Smith on my left, right here in the middle, Everett Johnson. And a chance now to head down to the locker room for our post-game interview.
Dr. Jack, hey man, a triple-double? Now, not many players in this league can do that, so congrats. Do you think that's something you can do more often?
You know, some people might think so, Kenny, but I seriously doubt that. You know, I am sure that I can help my team get wins every night, and, you know, quite often it doesn't translate on the stat sheet. I believe that as soon as you start chasing the numbers, you lose sight of what the real goal is, and that is getting this team in a position to win an NBA title.
I love it. You got it in the flow of the game. Continue to good work.
Thank you. I'm focused, Kenny.
And thanks for joining us this evening, folks. We've reached the end of our broadcast, sadly. Shaquille O'Neal and Penny the Jet Smith. This is Ernie Johnson. Farewell.
DJ, you're up next. Let's go.
Okay, you got it.
Remember, DJ, keep it simple.
I got this.
Your rebounding has been solid lately, not just tonight, but over the last few games. Are you doing anything different?
Nope. Just doing what I always do.
Which is what?
Which is play harder than everybody else, man. Hold on real quick. You know what? Cleaning the glass can really give a man a thirst. Much better.
So I take it your play tonight has something to do with ingesting that Gatorade.
Hey, hold on. You said it, buddy, not me.
Thank you, your teammates.
What was the question?
Does everyone you're playing harder than, including teammates?
You know what, bro? No comment, man. No comment. We all good here, fellas?
Hey, next time, don't rip your teammates after a win.
No comment.
Oh, the very fact that you say that means you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I said no comment.
Oh, would you stop? The cameras aren't even around.
I was always watching me, man.
That's right, DJ. Cameras are always happening.
This is wild, P.
Alright, DJ, let's go. Alright, DJ, let's get to work. Great game, DJ. Hey, man.
pregame show.
This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here, joined by the great Shaquille O'Neal and the equally great Kenny the Jet Smith. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the New York Knicks going up against the Heat in Miami. For the Heat, just one win over the last 7 games. They're not happy with how they're playing, looking to make amends tonight. Well, we know how much hype has been going on around DJ, but it looks like he really is one of the best guards that's come into the league in a long time. There's really nothing he can't do, Jet.
Hey, DJ, just play that song, Keep Me Dancing. All night long. All night. And he is the killer instinct, and he is dancing on opponents all night. Some think that
What's going on, boo-boo? My sister called and she knows we're in town. So pick it up, man. She worried misses you. She wants to borrow another $500. Don't mind your business, player, man. I got this. Hey, sis.
Coming to you tonight from the American Airlines Arena with a look high above. And Friday night to sports fans, you've come to the right place. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. With Premier League, this is now and bingo to the close of the show as well. The New York Knicks come to this one program against the Wizards, and there was much posting in. All right, David, thanks. And Brendan, the point of the season for him. Is this the point of the match? No one sees it. Going forward to this one.
It's a great point that the depth of your team has over the years is something our coaches feel confident about being a contending team, that they know they can rely on these guys to come in and bring the juice every night competitively.
So the New York starting five, they've got the tournament. Porzingis is on. That's and it's free. It's touched by Green. Johnson, a wide open look. It's it coming off an assist from Bryant. Johnson.
And Noah, the team just couldn't string anything together in a myriad of problems, both on and off the court.
Mickey gets it. Green's got 5 points so far. For Miami, they've got 16 balls. Crawford in the first one. Rockets with it. Green defending. Releases from 15.
Defense has to be important, and somehow he missed that opportunity. Still, no reason for them to give up that kind of run. They just missed the beaters, hurting the team. His shooting's been off. He knows it.
They kick it out with a 3. Good on that one. This game coming up from loss against the Pistons. His passes again. So we're winning. And it's Miami. Victory with the middle of the tournament.
It felt like they were teenagers during the summer. Low levels of activity. It's not their night.
Makes it about 6. Here's Green. So the whistle blows on the shot. 2 free throws. So both minutes.
Looking over there, this is
Jonathan Johnson, he's jumped in for the Heat. Miami's going for 3-pointers in the first one. Doing well for long. And Green will win it. Green the ball. And it's Johnson picking him up. Here's Cantor. And what is it that has come up with this in their quest for success?
Maybe one problem, Kevin, is that New York organization feels just a bit too cliquey between ownership and management, coaching staff, and then there just hasn't been the kind of connectivity in order to make things grow organically. It's been very forced in New York City. Until they find that right combination, the struggles will continue.
That one falls. So it's
So I guess I'll, actually already have an account with Steam, but it's not like a Black Child thing, so I'm gonna have to redo that and start posting. But we knew this was going to happen at some point. I mean, I've been so really behaving in terms of the copyright issues. I don't have any. I literally had none on the channel, so they knew that they couldn't get me out that way, so they had to do the community strike. And then the other thing about the community strikes was after the Dan Bilzerian video that they told me I was bullying him, it's actually about to be up like in a few days. On the 12th, it would have been, absolved or whatever. And so they purposely did this at this particular time frame so that I guess there would be no recourse, or that they could just terminate, and I'm not really surprised. I was more surprised at the 2-week you couldn't do uploading thing, and then I realized that the attack was on. And then earlier today, I had been going through my emails and seeing they were flagging videos all day today for me. But what was interesting was some of them, more than one or two, they didn't give me a strike. So I guess they were like, well, this is not enough. We need something else. So basically, it's if you have any title in your video of hoax, false flag, crisis actor, especially the hoax and the crisis actor thing, they'll just terminate. And I'm like, I didn't know this is a new rule now where you can't even say certain words. If you say certain words or title your video certain words, you're done. And I'm like, is that even, can we even do that? Because you have titled your video a term now, and now apparently crisis actor and hoax is like calling somebody a nigger, calling somebody a faggot or a spick or something like that. It's like, it's now offensive, and it's a derogatory, insulting word now, where it's like, it's like the new N-word, where you just get terminated now if you say it. Even if you have it titled for a video that has nothing to do with accusing anyone or anything, or harassing somebody, or, calling people out of their names or anything like that. What this last video that they used to terminate was a video of movie clips from this movie, The Game, which is one of my favorite movies. And, it was like the movie shows how these people were essentially crisis actors. I don't know what else to say. It was very, some people said it was like a gang stalking thing, but the point is, the film was about how these people were playing a game with Michael Douglas's character, and, he was getting into real life scenarios only to find out that, these people are actors. They were literally actors, going from place to place, messing with people and gaslighting them and doing all this stuff. So I titled the film, it was a question: does this film, show crisis actors? And that was, did they terminate it? Actually, it wasn't a question. Excuse me. It was The Game, 1997 film depicts crisis actors! Exclamation point. So I guess for them, that's like harassing, and that's now a community guideline strike. Which again, this is within the last week. This term has now become, the most offensive thing on the planet, and now they have terminated me. So, my advice to other truthers out there and other people doing videos like this, obviously, I do kind of blame the auto hoaxers. A lot of the auto hoaxers, everything is a hoax. Everything is a hoax. Everything is fake. Nobody died. It's all, fake blood and all this. These people are really the ones who have, they're kind of like Jake Paul or Logan Paul, whichever one, where it's because of them that we all now get the whip cracked against our skull now. Because, they were just waiting for something like this to be able to use it to do the purge. Because again, I didn't have any copyright strikes. And to be honest, everybody that watches my videos knows that I don't bully people. I don't harass people. On a rare occasion, I might do, calling people names in the video, etc. But it's not, I've never been cyberbullying anything or anyone. So it's just like, I don't even, it's just pathetic. It's really just pathetic. And for the bigger YouTubers, the ones who are doing prank videos and, ridiculous stuff and all that, you're next. I mean, I don't even know what they're trying to do. I mean, I don't understand that they're trying to kick all of the major content creators on their platform off, unless you're going to do a cat video. But pretty soon the cat videos are going to be censored too. You can't show too much. You can't show whatever. So, yeah, I figured I'd just give an update. I'm going to continue to post on this channel, but again, I don't really know how much of the old stuff I have I'm going to upload back up onto YouTube. If anything, I do want to continue to have it out on the internet, but it might just be on Steam or on DTube or whatever else. I mean, I know a lot of people are suggesting a whole bunch of sites, but I do happen to know about Steam, and I do know about a little bit about DTube. A lot of it has to do with cryptocurrencies and posting the videos on there. So we'll see. But I'm obviously going to have to be figuring this out within the next few days. But I'm going to continue doing videos. I still have some that I'm working on. But I mean, it's the purge. It's the purge, and moving forward, obviously, we're gonna have to title the videos differently. I mean, it's now cyberbullying now to call people to say crisis actor or to title your video crisis actor. That's now, I mean, that's like calling somebody a kite, or saying something about Hitler or something. That's the new thing now. So it's definitely disappointing to these kids. I mean, I don't blame the kids necessarily because they didn't call themselves crisis actors. I mean, everybody else did. But I mean, I'm sure that this honor, whatever this organization was, that the Sandy Hook father, I'm sure they had a lot to do with this, and they probably reached out to them to say, "Oh, don't worry, we'll protect you on this. We've got your back." And apparently, everybody's just shook now in this whole PC world of you can't say anything. It's so easy to press one of these corporations and say, "Oh, you better not dare let this go on. You better censor these people right now." And they have, they're afraid. On top of the fact that these people are Masonic and are a part of the system also, but it's all right. I mean, there's tons of other platforms out there, and I think once people with a lot of followers and a lot of following start going to those other sites, I think they'll get the point. And that's why I really don't want to upload the archives, the catalog back onto YouTube anymore, even if I could monetize it, just because I could monetize it somewhere else. Like, that's not even an issue. It's just that, I don't want to encourage or be codependent or enable their censorship, and them just being like Gestapo, like, how dare you say that? You said you put crisis actor in the title of your video, you're terminated. And pretty soon if you put Freemason in there, if you put Illuminati, if you put anything like that, now I'm sure it'll be all false flag or military or drill. You're going to be now just taken down. Continually, hit you with community strike, and then what they'll do is hit you with two at once. And I'm like, I don't even like it, but hit me with two at the same time, and it's like, yep. So they were just going through obviously going through the catalog to see, even from day one of the second channel now, because the first channel got taken down because of copyright issues. This channel now is because of, I've been cyberbullying people. So we'll see what happens on this third channel now, and yeah, but the purge is happening, and I don't know who's going to be left after, but to everybody who does stay, and who doesn't get their channel taken down, only thing you already know at this point, you gotta, I don't know about the content. Clearly the content has something to as my situation, it had a lot to do with the title, like literally, because I didn't have anything even in this video other than clips from the film. So, you know, you're gonna just have to censor yourself now to be on this platform. I mean, it's not even to monetize. It's just even to post, even to, you know, upload or anything. You now have to censor yourself. And again, we've been warning people about this for a long time, but in my opinion, this is really only the beginning. So, I mean, I'm going to still have a presence online, but in terms of uploading some of my older stuff, I just don't know. But I appreciate the support. I appreciate everybody coming over to the second channel and letting people know what's happening. But you know, it's definitely a sad week for the truth community. I think in general, moving forward, you know, the auto hoaxing, you know, it's not helping. It's definitely not helping us. And maybe this was the whole point. And maybe some of these people were shows, not all of them, but maybe some of them were shows to get them to do this so that they could, you know, clamp down and get us all out. But again, I mean, I still have more videos I'm going to put out. I mean, this isn't going to stop me posting videos, and I'm still going to definitely be posting videos on their platform. Just to, you know, you have to still let them know that you're going to have a presence on their platform. You're not going to go away, you know. But I'm definitely looking into Steam and DTube, and I'll keep you all informed and whatever I'm doing. And I just appreciate the support. So I love you all. And until next time, stay in the truth, stay in the Lord. I'll see you all in the next one. All right. And horrible YouTube censorship. I mean, it's hogwash, total hogwash. So.
Seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Tower cleared.
We got a roll program. Neil Armstrong reporting the roll and pitch program, which puts Apollo 11 on a proper heading.
Is it about a future movie or something coming out, or
no?
Okay.
It's not about any movie. It's not about the movies I've made in the past. It's a confession of sorts.
Okay. I mean, about you cheated on your wife, you plagiarized.
I would never do that. No.
Plagiarized something.
It's about a movie I made that nobody is aware of, even though they've seen it.
Okay.
Is that intriguing? Do I have you intrigued?
Well, I mean, see if I understand what you said. It's about a movie you made, no one knows you made. Is that what you said?
That's right. It's a production.
Like, so you put, like, you did put your name on? Like, at the end, you put, like, a fake name?
Oh, no. I made it.
Like Alan Smithy, like that?
That's right. No, I didn't. There was no name put on it.
Why? Why would there be no credits for me?
Because there are some things that you just can't perpetrated a huge fraud, which I am now about to detail.
Okay.
Involving the United States government and NASA.
All right.
And I'm sure you've heard the rumors.
The moon landing?
That's right. That the moon landing was fake. The moon landings all were fake. And I was the person who filmed it.
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar pearl what stars we could see.
I don't remember seeing any.
Neil, you were.
I don't remember seeing any.
Neil, you were.
We walked out of the room, and President Nixon said, I've decided to do that, and I need you to do this job. We're going to do it. It was just amazing. So we were trying to figure out who would do what when. He simply has got to have the person who wants in that job. And it has to be someone who's capable of doing it. And it has to be somebody he knows well. I said, I'd like to talk to one person. And he said, who?
Donald Rumsfeld was the first to propose Stanley Kubrick. The film would have to be perfect, but the set could never be built in time. The filming of 2001: A Space Odyssey was drawing to a close in a suburb of London. Why not use the sets there? Rumsfeld was sure that Kubrick would not refuse. During the Kennedy administration, the White House had granted him special authorization to access strategic areas of the Pentagon during the preparations for the film Dr. Strangelove. Kubrick owed them.
I
told Mr. Nixon it's very dangerous to lie in the United States. You can't pull a con like that in a democracy. Too many people would talk. It would be absurd. But he said, almost sadly, go ahead anyway. Rumsfeld offered to go and negotiate personally with Stanley Kubrick. He and Henry Kissinger flew to England that same evening. Kubrick was surprised and amused by the idea, but began by refusing. Rumsfeld wouldn't give up. We're only asking you to do one thing. Just leave us the keys to the studio for one weekend, just so we can shoot a bit of film and take a few shots. Everything will be tidied up again by Monday morning. Kissinger flattered him, telling him that Dr. Strangelove was one of Nixon's favorite films. In the end, Kubrick agreed. The fake footage would be shot in England in the MGM studios near Boreham Wood with a skeleton crew. The 2 technicians and 2 actors would be CIA agents. To guarantee their trustworthiness, all had to be single men without family ties. They would sign a contract committing themselves to perpetual silence about the whole affair. Once the filming was over, they would have to disappear. But Stanley Kubrick was a perfectionist. Faced with the CIA crew's lack of professionalism, he ended up, against his better judgment, supervising the shooting of the fake moonwalk. But, he told them, from Monday morning, you're out of my life for good.
About the movie The Shining by Stanley Kubrick, and my theory, of course, is #1 featured in it, and I was reluctant when I first did it because I thought they were going to treat me shabbily, and they didn't, and the critics, however, not treated me too well. But what's interesting about it is that not only is it playing in theaters all over the country right now, but and not only is it a decent film, although
Room 237.
Yeah, Room 237.
Yeah.
There's everyone has a different theory about The Shining.
Yeah.
I think my theory combines all the other theories except for what I consider to be the most ridiculous theory in the movie, which is the theory that The Shining was about the Holocaust. I mean, I fell off my chair laughing so hard when I read that one. I thought the moon landing theory at least has evidence behind it. So it's been an interesting experience and very useful for the whole getting out the truth about Stanley Kubrick, so I appreciate it. And what's interesting about it is that Stanley Kubrick's assistant, Leon Vitale, who was with him for the last 28 years of his life, he had an article, an interview in the New York Times, I believe it was not last Sunday, the Sunday before, in which I was mentioned among the theories, and he virulently denied every one of the theories, except for one, which he decided not to mention hardly at all, which happened to be my theory.
Very good.
And and you can tell more by what people don't say than what they say. And he's ripping up the Holocaust theory. He's ripping up the, all the theories that were presented. And then, he doesn't hardly mention, somebody just brought an Apollo 11 sweatshirt on the set that day. I'm like, yeah, right. Stanley, who, wrote down, every single thing that should happen on the set, would just let someone bring a sweater out on the set that day and put it on the kid.
Room 237. In the book, The Shining, the room number is 217, but for the film, Kubrick changed it to 237. Here's the true reason why. The moon, the natural satellite of Earth, visible by reflection of sunlight, and traveling around Earth in a slightly elliptical orbit at an average distance of about 381,600 kilometers. The American Heritage Science Dictionary. 381,600 kilometers converted to miles is 237,000. Room 237 represents the moon. Danny enters room 237, the moon room. This is where Stanley Kubrick filmed the Apollo 11 moon landing.
You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Calling the kettle black if I ever thought of saying I misrepresented myself. Away from me. You're a coward and a liar and a thief. Well, I want you to swear to God on the Bible that you walked on the moon. If you walked on the moon, we're giving you the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you and leave me alone.
So why don't you just put the end to the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon.
That's probably a fixed Bible.
Well, you're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator in NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight.
I don't tip people, but you're going to be on the deck unless you get...
I'm heading out. I appreciate it.
Well, take your stuff and get the fuck out. Why don't you quote me and say it's bullshit?
When the shadow's in her office, I don't give a damn about all that shit.
Of lunar orbit being falsified.
Being falsified?
Correct. We've got an unedited tape from a source at the Johnson Space Center.
That's totally nonsense. you do not deserve answers.
If you show this publicly, you're open for a lawsuit. Okay?
We're talking about Apollo, and let's not even talk about whether or not we went there. Let's just talk about the Cold War and the fact that we had to go there. We had to succeed. We couldn't take a chance on not succeeding. A tremendous black eye. So to guarantee success, what's the obvious thing to do? You recreate it. You stage it. So you've got it to release in case something goes wrong. And then they got to the point, obviously, where they said, well, why take a chance at all? Let's just go with what we've got in the can. That's my guess.
Yeah, and, you know, the more that you examine it, the more actually ludicrous the whole thing gets, to the point where it's almost a comedy.
So I keep digging a little bit deeper, and I finally get underneath this cloud cover here, and a few images pop up. And I said, oh, images, what are they? Well, this is what you got, which I'm sure that looks familiar to you, right? Looks just like the pictures they give us of Mars. So I'm just kind of creeping around here and definitely noticing the same kind of undulation changes and same kind of rock, same kind of dirt. The only thing that's missing is that nice little red tint that they pay somebody $150,000 a year to put on there. So I said, I wonder what they're doing out here. What is all this equipment for? I'm sure it can't be NASA, right? Whose orange Hummer is this? Okay, that looks like a NASA symbol. Cameras set up, tents, ATVs, food. They've been there a while. It's not a one-day trip. Got their antenna set up out in the middle of nowhere in Greenland.
Things seem to finally be coming together with the moon landing. We were there on the surface of another planet. You could see it on TV. Well, first it was projected onto a silver screen, and then the TV cameras were allowed to film off the silver screen, because obviously you wouldn't want the real footage. I mean, if you want to go back and look at the real footage of the initial moon landing, you can't, because it's been taped over by NASA, and no one was fired, no one was punished. Of course, they want to get rid of the evidence. Now at this stage, a band of Apollo faithful will be howling in protest. We did go to the moon. Then why did nothing come of it? Why have we not been back in 40 years? The Apollo faithful will say, oh, it's budget priorities, we've been there, we've done that, it's not economical to mine on the moon. That just doesn't hold water. That's a load of rubbish. We haven't been back to the moon because we never went there in the first place.
So this one here said, roving the Arctic. So what is that? That makes any sense. Hop in here. See if we can find anything. Again, same kind of mountains. That looks like the same kind of water I've seen before that I thought was water on Mars. Who knows? Zoom in, what's that? Oh, nothing. Just thought it was funny. So I'll keep kind of going through here and see if it... What the... Yeah, so, I think I found out where Mars is, guys. It's just 5,000 miles north of me. Not quite the distance that NASA says. But I can't find anybody who's in charge of this. They must be hiding behind these rocks. Oh no, there they are out in front of everybody, just standing there. Lovely. Clown number 1, clown number 2, clown number 3.
He was playing with the water, with the paddles, the hydro repellent paddles. So he was bouncing the glob of water between the two paddles, and one of the community noticed that his eyes were not following the frickin' water. They were jumping into places that he had it for a little bit, and then after that his eyes were completely out of sync with the water dropping.
But when those guys were playing ping pong back and forth with the water, you'll notice that the girl always is looking above the camera. And the reason why is because they're looking at the CGI feed. You know, they need to see where the item is that they're playing ping pong with, because it's not right in front of them. So once I saw Helmick's video, I really, it opened my eyes even more to, okay, because every time I've watched those astronauts, they appear to be watching a monitor above the camera, which, okay, I could see doing that, but on the other hand, if you're just up in space giving an interview or playing ping pong or whatever you're doing, then you would have no reason to look at a monitor. It doesn't matter. The camera's on you, you know that, so it doesn't matter what you look like. You shouldn't care about that, but they're always very concerned with that monitor. Well, that tells me why. It's when they're using props.
All right, let's check out some of these other pictures. I saw another one over here. This one says Drill Hill. All right. Let's go in here. Totally looks like the Mars terrain to me. Just need the red filter. Yeah, if you go look at Mars pictures, go to Gigapan or any site that has, you can go to NASA.gov and look at all their Mars frauds. Check out those images, they're identical to these. Yeah, this very empty here. Oh, there's one of those ATVs. Alright, now run something. Oh, I got another truck. Oh yeah, it says NASA. What's that say? Mars Project. This thing's just driving around taking pictures. Unbelievable. Actually, if you ask me, it's quite believable. What do you think? Are they sending scientists up on ATVs to practice on the rover in a remote island in Greenland? I doubt that, highly.
Here's another scene with Catherine Katie Coleman. Seems to be done in the suspended mode. Have a look at her hair. There's something odd about her hair. I know this is zero gravity and hair is supposed to stick out and go all over the place, but her hair doesn't really flop around naturally. It's always sticking out kind of rigidly. Maybe they permed it in that position, or perhaps they're hanging her upside down. As she shakes her head from side to side slightly, you can see the hair always springs back to a particular position with respect to her head. It should flop all over the place.
Here's iJustine. She has a vlog of her hair flows in the air, as it would, because the hair is moving through air. So it's going to flow as you bounce around. And on the International Space Station, this does not happen with the women. They do flips, they lay down, they do all kinds of things. They bounce from here to there. They pretend they're Superman. Their hair will never look like that.
In this scene, Chris Hadfield bends down in order to adjust something, and you can see on the back of his shirt a couple of upticks on either side where you would expect wires to come in on either side of that harness in order to support it. Of course, they've computer graphicked out the supporting wires. You can't actually see them.
This Chinese spacewalk, the bubble rises in the pool. Complete fraud. Here the helmet gets hit on the International Space Station and a bubble rises into the pool. And it takes an odd trajectory because it's in a water pool. Houston, we have a problem. Space is broken. Sorry, U.S. government. I have to show them the bubble. There's the bubble in the pool that we just saw. Yep, doesn't even go in a straight line. It's in the water pool. Takes a very odd trajectory because the water is actually moving around. It's not still.
Now check this video out. The whole video is about a minute long. I said 45 seconds before was the maximum for full motion mode. It may be more like a minute that they can do this full motion zero gravity mode, because then the airplane finishes its parabolic trajectory. It has to dip down for a short period of time. There's double the gravity. Anyway, have a look at the end of this, and there's a strange motion to the center. Take a look at the way it moves. It kind of skips out of her control a couple of times. First it dips down and then up a little bit, and then at the end it goes up a little bit, and she kind of looks a bit embarrassed, like she's been caught putting her hands in the cookie jar. Oops, I hope you didn't see that. No, we didn't see, Katie. Just keep the beautiful smile on your face, and that'll distract us from the hoax.
So, in this clip, they're talking live feed, and we have a astronaut go by us in the background, obviously trying to give it a more realistic, spacey, station busy effect. And so we see the guy come flying along in a harness on his wires. pretty amazing.
At the time of the Apollo 11 mission, Buzz Aldrin was a 32-degree Freemason. They were in good company, as many of NASA's astronauts were also Freemasons.
One of the ways we promote ourselves among Masons, a reason to join, is we consider ourselves the University of Freemasonry. And the real emphasis in the Scottish Rite is on receiving more light, learn more about the history of our world.
We always indulge in a few pagan rites to appease the EVA gods. These little ceremonies are very, very important to ensure mission success if you do them right.
Another aspect of the illusion of space travel is spacewalks. These are faked inside a swimming pool. It's a custom-built swimming pool, and that's a great way to fake zero gravity. About 6 months ago, in 2013, a gallon of water leaked into one of their spacesuits in a matter of seconds. NASA doesn't really have a proper explanation for how on earth this could have happened. There shouldn't be water leaking into someone's helmet and a person almost drowning in space. How can you drown in space? They now wear snorkels to make sure that they don't drown in space. How can this be happening? A snorkel in space? There could be some water in the porous plate sublimator. When they were on the moon, they supposedly had about a gallon of water, but that cooling system is supposed to be well away from their head. There really is no sane explanation for why a gallon of water would leak into someone's spacesuit, unless you realise the whole thing is faked inside a swimming pool, which is the faking of spacewalks in a swimming pool. In this vid, you catch a glimpse of someone wearing a scuba tank. Scuba tanks in space? Snorkels and scuba tanks in space? They act like a spacewalk is just a walk in the park, like there's very little danger involved at all.
And then they also pretend that it travels in all the same trajectory, and this thing just scoops everything up. And then it has a claw that can grab big pieces of space debris, and then little pieces of space debris get caught in the sides by panels. Of course, there's no in-between. Do they catch the middle-sized pieces of space debris with the box? And then debris drone 1 does not send the package down to Earth to get incinerated. No, the whole thing goes down to Earth to become incinerated, and it's fucking useless. So, because they say there's over 500,000 pieces of space debris, they have to send thousands of space debris drone 1s. But the important thing about this is the camera. They show you a camera on this satellite drone. So somebody is operating that claw and they're getting the space jump. Why can't you see the video from this camera? This thing has a camera. Wouldn't you like to see this thing in operation? Here's a beautiful detailed image from that model. You see that huge swirl of clouds between Australia and Africa, and there it is on the model. And the crazy thing about this is when you type Earth from space in the image search, Earth from space, not NASA composite computer model of the Earth, literally Earth from space, which means you want to see pictures of the Earth from space in an image search. These images will come up over and over and over again, and the sick thing is, they show this model in documentaries about space. They show this to you. The same model with the same cloud. They don't even change it. Here's a picture of Jupiter and the Earth. It's not a real picture, it's an illustration, but see, it's the Apollo 17 image of Earth. It's over 40 years old, and they still use it for illustrations in modern times. Here's another image that somebody put together, and they used the Apollo 17 image of Earth from space, which you've been seeing literally your entire life over and over and over again. And your kids, as they go to school, they see this image in their science books. there it is used again. In modern times, it's over 40 years old. It's going to be 50 years old soon.
How do you brainwash? Well, you repeat it. You repeat the same thing over and over again. You know if somebody's resisting the concept? If you keep fucking repeating it, after 6 times, they'll incorporate it in their brain. They may not agree with it, but repeat it another 1,000 times, they'll start saying it. It's funny, back in the 60s when they went to the moon, this is the first time we actually had like an instrument of flight to actually go high enough to actually fucking check out if what we agreed to 500 years ago was real. So if they were wrong after 500 years, the question is, would they tell you?
Bouncing, obviously, you know, with something's helping him a little bit, right? Lifting up just a little bit higher.
I know the
footage. Yeah, as he artfully goes behind a small rock, all of a sudden he takes this huge leap, right? And there's a trampoline on the other side of that rock. That's what's going on there. So Kubrick is using wires, he's using trampolines, he's using slow motion, he's using anything he can to put forth the effect.
Here's like a perfect example of them landing on the moon. I mean, it's proof right there. This is an official NASA photo of the first Apollo 11 lunar module landing on the moon. I mean, it's right there. It's a good man. It's a picture right there. It's landing on the moon. But the only problem I have with this picture is that it's taken from the moon. I don't know what the big deal was with being the first guy on the moon. It seems the camera crew was already there.
A warning about a cult of pedophiles.
He was trying to warn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it goes all the way through to Eyes Wide Shut. It's constantly trying to warn us that there's a cult of people trying to take our children.
It's the cult, and it's here.
It is the cult.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they're at work, and they're not going to stop. They're relentless.
Oh, no. We've got less to figure out than they ever have. They own the judges, they own the courts, they own everything.
They are on the
they are literally
final switch.
That's right.
From there, that point of view I've never seen. And it's funny when you click on Google Images, photo of the Earth, keep going. Because this is realistic. And you'll see 40 pages on Google. But it's always the same fucking photo. Same photo. They just changed the contrast. Check it out, keep going. Oh yeah, boom, 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 40 pages. Look closer. It's always the same. Oh, what is that? I guess this is the photo of the Hubble telescope taking a picture of itself. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's an authentic photo of the Hubble telescope out there doing its job. Isn't that amazing how they could take a photo of the thing taking photos? Out in outer space. Unbelievable. This is a moon they discovered off of Mars. It's a Hopi Papa, and you can do a close-up on it. You see all the craters and the texture of the moon on my shirt. There it is. It's just a bunch of paint. Next image, and they actually came up with a new term for it. It's a collisionary supernova. Unbelievable that they actually caught this. If you get a zoom in on this, there's a zoom in that Hubble did on this. These are actual fucking suns being formed. Unbelievable. Look at this. All these fucking suns. Can we get another? Keep going. And they're being formed on a Christmas tree.
Yeah, this all results from, you know, the early 50s when they studied in the MK Ultra programs. And they were studying how to influence people and how to get them to do what they want you to do. And, you know, that's when it began. It began with, you know, in the early 50s and reached a turning point in the 90s. And now we're in this place where they're going to start enacting the most absurd thing. And we're not going to be able to stop them. And for sure they're going to come and take the gun. To me, it looks like a fait accompli. It's coming. It may not be next year, but it's coming. We're all going to be outlaws. Anyone with a gun is going to be an outlaw very soon.
Sure.
And we have to decide what that means.
Oh, this is amazing. We just went to Mars. Hey, big round of applause after the Americans go to Mars. And this is the official image of them landing there. It's looking funny. It's like, isn't it amazing how they were landing there and they already had an airbrush artist with his easel set up to paint it land that quick? Unbelievable. How do you believe this is real? If this is the official landing, oh, then they got another one with a metal sort of pipe and sand in black and white. That's proof. They were there, man. They're landing on the sand. Check it out. That's it. There you go. Some more images. This is what they're doing on Mars right now. Moving around with their little rover. That's a real photo. Look at that. This is another. I swear to God, they're on Mars right now. Look at that. This thing's moving around. I don't even know what it does. It's like a weird sort of sample collector. It's a spider. It's a spider sample. Sampling. It's a spider sample. Sand sample. It's a sand sample. It's getting spices from Mars.
You're serious? Okay.
I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
Because I only had this certain amount of time with you, and I'll talk about whatever you want. You know, this isn't some type of joke or film within a film thing.
Not a joke. Nope.
Okay.
The conspiracy theorists were right on this occasion.
Why?
I don't know about Paul McCartney's death, but they were right about it.
Okay. Why in God's name would... I don't know what to ask you first. Why the hell, if you're telling the truth, why would you do it? Why are you telling me? I mean, what the...
Don't you think it's important for people to know the truth?
Yeah, yes, certainly.
They had a massive fraud, an unparalleled fraud perpetrated against them. They should know.
Okay.
I mean, they're already suspicious of the government. They may as well have their suspicions confirmed.
Okay.
Well, justified.
And this, why now? I mean, we're almost at the 30-year anniversary. What took so long? Why if this is true, why...
I won't go into that. It has to do with personal...
Okay.
Evolution and influences.
And, well,
I'll go into that.
Is that why you look a little haggard right now? Because you look a little worn, no offense. Like...
Well, also, yeah, because I haven't been taking care of myself too well. I've been drinking a lot, but...
Is that because of the stress of this?
Of course. Stress, guilt, just conflict of all kinds.
Wow. I mean, so you feel bad about this, clearly. I mean, this is not...
I do feel bad about it. I also feel proud of it. It's a terrible conflict.
Because you've pulled off one of the greatest hoaxes ever because of...
And because I made a film, if you want to call it a film, which I consider to be my masterpiece.
And you can't take credit or even talk about it well, you are now.
Hereby taking credit.
Right, but you can't actually go out. You're doing... When people see this, you'll be dead.
Until 10 years.
Right, or 15, yeah. So you can't talk to Roger Ebert about it, you know. Does that frustrate you?
I have to pay the consequences for the decision that I made many years ago to go along with this.
Like a deal with the devil.
It's Faustian, to be sure.
Because, and is that why you got such power in Hollywood? I mean, that would explain that.
Why I have the freedom I have, that was part of the gift.
So they said, do this one thing and we'll give you...
When I made Spartacus, I didn't have this kind of freedom.
Right.
But I have it now.
So what came first, the genius or the fraud? What came first, the genius or the fraud? I mean, did the fraud enable the genius, or did the genius release that fraud?
The genius came first.
Right.
But some frauds are hard to bypass, especially if you have an ego and you're an artist and you're presented with a challenge, the likes of which you've never seen and will probably never see again. You don't even think of the morality of it. You're just completely swept away by the flattery of it and the juices inside you, which make you want to do it as the artist you are innately. You don't think of anything else.
What a conflict. I mean, gosh, I can't imagine being presented with that opportunity. On one hand, I really would want to do it, but then I'd probably say, well, I'm committing a crime and lying.
It depends, but my guess would be, no, if you're good, you would do it. I discussed this with Levinson, Barry Levinson.
Right.
I discussed it with...
Let me wag the dog, right?
Yes. Spielberg, of all people, believe it or not, yes.
Somebody wag the dog.
Cottonwood, Scorsese, even Woody Allen. There isn't one of them who wouldn't do this.
How do you feel now?
I can't help it.
You're paralyzed. Just like you did when you did nothing. You did nothing. Now, sink into the floor.
Wait.
Sink.
I feel nervous, a little bit all around. I feel a little shaky. I don't know. I mean, no.